All right, last one in this form. I've got everything set up, and it's really important to notice, in that original problem, you were missing a whole bunch of terms. So I have put those in as zeros, any of the ones we were missing. Our problem was just x to the fifth minus 1. So we've got all these spots in here that we need to make sure we have a place for. The fourth power, third power, second power, and first power, and then we can add in our constant term. So let's go ahead and set this up. I've got what I'm dividing by on the left, and then I've started out the process by putting that first term in my box. And then I ask myself, what do I multiply x by to get x to the fifth? And I know that has to be x to the fourth. So then I can start filling in the rest of this column. X to the fourth times negative 1 is going to be negative 1x to the fourth. And then I look at, how am I going to get 0x to the fourth? What do I need to add to 1x to the fourth? And I know I need to add positive 1x to the fourth in order to get 0. And then I start to think about, okay, so now what would I multiply x by to get 1x to the fourth? And I know that's going to be x cubed. Then I say, okay, so now I can fill in the rest of this column. X cubed times negative 1 is going to be negative 1x cubed. You're going to start to notice a pattern, hopefully. Negative 1x cubed, I've got to add something to that to get 0x cubed. And I know I'm going to add 1x cubed. And then we start again. So x times x squared will give me x cubed. So this will be x squared. And then I have to ask myself, or not ask myself, then I just multiply. X squared times negative 1 is negative 1x squared. Okay, so then what do I add to negative 1x squared to get 0x squared? I know that's going to be positive 1x squared. And then I'm back to the beginning. X times something gives me x squared. That's going to be x. And then we can multiply x by negative 1 to get this box. So 1 times x, negative 1 times x is going to be negative 1x. And then again, we have to add something to negative 1x to get 0. So we have 1x. And then we start again. This is a long problem because there's a lot of terms. X times 1 will give me 1x. So this is just going to be 1. And then we multiply 1 times negative 1 to get negative 1. And then our remainder box is here. I don't have it written down, but we have a spot for the remainder here. And we ask ourselves, what is it that we would add to negative 1 to get negative 1? And we would just have to add 0, so there is no remainder. So once again, don't forget to write your answer out. My answer is whatever's in this row followed by a remainder if there is one. So my answer is going to be x to the fourth plus x cubed plus x squared plus x plus 1.